Good morning, everyone, or at least anybody who may be listening later on. Yeah, I know. Last week I did not get to stream like I normally do. Hey, Josh, good morning. Got to. So that music shakes your bed, does it, huh? Now that's good news. Oh, man, I tell you. This morning I've been up since quarter after 2 this morning. I fell asleep early last night. I fell asleep at 9 o'clock. And I was up at 2 and laid in bed trying to go back to sleep. And finally, at about 10 till 4, I said, forget about it. Hey, Tyler, good morning. So it was I get done this stream here, I am probably going to take a nap. I don't know. Oh man, I remember used to being into subwoofers and such. I had a roommate when I was in the Air Force, and as a young airman, that was really into making the most noise possible with his stereo system. And back in the days, I mean, we only got paid $400 a month, but living in the barracks, most of these guys didn't have, we didn't have the expenditures because we lived in the barracks and we ate in the chow hall, and that $400 a month, like mine, just went straight to my bank account. Other than buying, like laundry soap, because I didn't smoke at the time. Other than buying laundry soap or, a bar of Irish Spring, I didn't, have a lot of expenditures. Once a year, I bought new uniforms, and the government gave me the money to do that. But the that $400. But then, I mean, like I said, that's back in the days when you could get a 6-foot sub for $20. And because a friend of mine, his birthday, my birthday are the same day, which reminds me, we would celebrate our birthdays together and buy a 6-foot sub and some beer and some cheap whiskey and such. But anyway, some of the guys had put their money into stereos. Like the guy above me, he put all of his money into stereos, about $800 into them. And the only reason why I know how much it was is because I went up one day because he kept playing his stereo late at night when I was trying to sleep, and he wouldn't turn his stereo down. So I went up and put my fist through each and every one of the speakers. and I had to replace them. And part of the deal of me replacing them, and I got a letter of admonishment out of it, LOA, and the day I was told by the first sergeant that when I replaced the speakers, I had to go up to the orderly room and let him know. So I went and bought the speakers, same brand, same size, and everything. Took them up, knocked on the guy's door, and gave them to him. Then I went down to the orderly room and let the first shirt know that his speakers were there. First shirt said, great. He went and got the squadron executive officer, a lieutenant, and they went down to the dorms and confiscated the man's speakers. He was sitting there trying to get them out. He hadn't even gotten them all out of the boxes yet. And the first shirt and the squadron executive officer went down there and confiscated them. Told him he could have them back when he PCS'd. when they came to pack up his whole baggage. Oh man, I laughed, and the look on his face when they confiscated his stuff, and he come down and he was mad at me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not the one that refused to turn my stereo down when other people were trying to sleep. It's your fault. He was a small guy, I was 6'3", and 200 pounds, 190, 200 pounds. No fat worthwhile speaking of. And the day I put my fist through his speakers, I knocked on his door and I picked him up, carried him down the hallway a little bit, dropped him, then went back to his room because the door was still open. That's when I walked in and put my fist through him. I think I still got the scar on one of my knuckles for one of the wires. Yep, there it is. One of the wires on this speaker that held the speaker in cut me. Had to go and get a couple of stitches in my hand for it. But yeah, well, I mean, we had a lot of guys in the military. They go and spend a lot of money on stereos. Now, I bought a nice stereo system when I was in Germany. Bose 301s instead of Bose 601s. My roommate bought 901s, but I didn't need the 901s, not the price they were asking for them at the time. The 301s and 601s did everything I needed them to do. But anyway, yeah, they got me off on talking about stereo systems. But yeah, but after that, the expenditure in Germany buying component set of stereo, and I still got it. It's sitting in the garage. It hasn't been turned on in 15 years. Well, no, it's probably been about 7 years now since it's been turned on. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice component system. But anyway, Touchdown Timmy will be talking about him later on. But had some guy is being accused of attempted assassination plot against Trump. And let's see where, here's the article. There it is. Where am I music from? Now, where is it? There we go. Now, please tell me I got them all shut off finally. Okay. Would-be assassin or Trump supporter and sovereign citizen. What we know about suspect Vem Miller. Police arrested a man that they said was armed with multiple weapons and inconsistent identification documents just outside the Donald Trump rally on Saturday at Coachella Valley, California. And what officials are describing as a thwarted third assassination attempt against the former president. However, the suspect, described as a sovereign citizen, if you've spent any time watching any police interaction videos on YouTube, you've seen these sovereign cities. Hey, Digi, good morning. You've seen these sovereign citizen videos. They're the ones that believe they don't have a driver's license or they don't have to register their cars, don't have to have tags on their cars, all that good stuff. So they're an interesting group of people, to say the least. Okay. Now, some of their beliefs, okay, it's like any group. Any group, they got some stuff that sounds reasonable. But some of their other stuff, you sit there and listen to it and they're off the tangent. They're way off on what is and isn't there. And there's different levels of these sovereign citizens. The whites are usually not quite as radical as some of the black, especially the Moorish nation black sovereign citizens. Though that group there, they're usually the ones that will sit there and say, okay, I'm charging you $1,000 a minute just for talking to me. And it's like, you've got to be nuts. One of the sheriffs here in Florida has a sovereign citizen group took out a bounty on him, $1 million bounty on anybody that kills this sheriff. So it's it's going to be, so some of these sovereign citizens, they're a bit on the nuttier side. And if this guy's a sovereign citizen, then that's the question, But then some people will label anybody that disagrees with them as um, as being a sovereign citizen. You may you see some of the police videos where people are just believe in their constitutional rights as outlined in the Bill of Rights. Well, oh, you must be a sovereign citizen. No, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I just believe in my constitutional rights. So, take that as you will. When a lot of times that sovereign citizen just gets thrown on there to be derogatory towards the person. Anyway, however, the suspect, described as a sovereign citizen, is believed to be a Trump fan and told a news outlet he didn't mean the Republican candidate any harm. Here's everything we know about the suspect, Vem Miller, VEM, 49, who's denied wrongdoing. Deputies stopped suspect Vem Miller in a black SUV at 5 p.m. Saturday, about a half mile from the rally, after he allegedly managed to make it through the initial security by claiming VIP and media credentials. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said at a press conference on Sunday that at a second stop, a deputy noticed that Miller's SUV was in disarray with an obviously fake license plate, prompting deputies to investigate further. All right, whoever that deputy was, good job, good on you. Questionable. If he looked in the back of my pickup truck, in the back seat of my pickup truck, it's obviously in disarray. I've got to clean it out. I've got to get back there and clean and straighten it up and clean some stuff out. But my license plates aren't fake. In fact, I just renewed them this week or last week. Police then found Miller allegedly had multiple driver's licenses. Now, this is scary. Multiple driver's licenses and passports with different names, and possessed a loaded handgun and shotgun, both unregistered. I have no problem with unregistered firearms. I do not believe in registration of firearms. Hey, sweetie.
Hi.
My other half just got home from taking a walk with a friend of hers. I figured she'd be heading to the bathroom, but instead she's headed to the garage. I don't know why, but you're going to take Spanky out for a walk?
No, we're going to the vet. Bye.
Oh, go and get that toenail. Take a look at it. Okay.
Bye.
Love you, dear. Yeah, the other day, dear, his body harness is on the refrigerator.
I don't want the body harness.
All right.
This one.
All right.
Come here. We gotta go. They're waiting for us. We gotta go. Come on. They're waiting for us.
Okay. Well, have fun, dear. Spanky's excited to go. When we break out the leash, he gets excited because he knows he's going further than the yard. But anyway, last week, I noticed he was limping a little bit. And then he jumped up on the couch next to me and he was licking his hind foot. And I noticed he torn a toenail on Friday afternoon. I noticed he had torn a toenail all the way back to the quick, one of his claws. And today's the earliest we could get him in to see the vet. So anyway, possessed with a loaded handgun and shotgun, both is unregistered, as well as a high-capacity magazine. Yeah, to them, these people, high capacity is anything over 5 rounds. All right, let's call that a standard capacity magazine. So, Vim and Vigor, yeah, but yeah, you're right about that, Tar. If he starts quoting the Articles of Confederation, we're in deep trouble. Okay, let's see here. Sheriff Bianco said the markings on the license plate indicated Miller was part of a group of individuals that claimed to be sovereign citizens. They are not right wing. Damn it, they're not right wing. They're basically anarchist. Why does everything always have to be labeled as right wing? All these nut groups, why do they call them right wing when they're not? They're not conservatives. If they were conservatives, they would believe. I believe in a government. I just believe in a small federal government and a more powerful state and local government. But the government is a government. We need a federal government. There are some things I believe the federal government should be doing. But there's a lot of things I believe the federal government has no purpose in doing. A lot of things that they do. That should be down to the state and local government areas. Anyway, Miller was taken into custody without incident, later booked at the John J. Bonneau Detention Center for possession of a loaded firearm and a high-capacity magazine. Miller's denied he was at the rally to attack Trump. The 49-year-old Southern California News Group, the 49-year-old told the Southern California News Group he was shocked to hear the arrest being described as an assassination plot, telling the outlet he's a supporter of the former president. These accusations are complete nonsense. I'm an artist. I'm the last person to cause any violence or harm to anybody. Miller was released Saturday on bail and scheduled to appear. Now, if he was really there as an assassination attempt, they would not have released him on bail. And especially with a scheduled to appear at the Justice Center in January. That's 3 months from now. Okay. Now, he said that he's a friend of Trump. Okay. Where'd it go? That's not it. That's not it. Well, fortunately, I still have this open, so let me open that link. Okay, here we go. This is Vem Miller with the Shaman. Remember the Shaman from January 9th? So you can make of that as you will. So, Josh, obviously I believe in the Ten Commandments, and I do believe in the Constitution. I believe strongly in the Bill of Rights. So, particularly the first 10, the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. Some of the other amendments are sort of questionable, I believe, or at least they're being misused and have been misused. But so back to this article. Linkin Page, belonging to a Las Vegas man named Vem Miller, describes his owner as an investigative journalist, a documentary filmmaker, and a content producer who has worked on projects well-known networks including Netflix and Vice Media. Page also suggests Miller is part of a successful music video director duo called Vem and Tony, who helped directed music videos for DMX and Trey Songz. I know who DMX is, never heard Trey Songz. Man that appears to be this Vem Miller can be seen making a brief appearance in the background of the archival footage from a recent Kanye West documentary, Genius? I don't know. Social media belonging to A. Vem Miller of Las Vegas shows a man posing for selfies with MAGA and conservative figures like Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, Russell Brand, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Newt Gingrich. A self-filmed video shows the same man at the RNC describing good people, good times, and coming close to Donald Trump Jr. Let's see here. A Rumble page for an online interview show called Where Are the Men features a man named Vem Miller, whose appearance matches images on the social media accounts, interviewing popular right-wing figures, including British MP Nigel Farage and Trump supporter and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. Miller's been described as a Republican by law enforcement and public records viewed by the Independent. Suggests that Vem Miller from Las Vegas is registered with the GOP. You can register. That registration doesn't mean anything. I registered as a Democrat for a while simply because that was the only way I could have a say in a half a dozen offices, including the sheriff's. Because whoever won the sheriff's primary was the sheriff, since no Republicans ran at the time. So, yeah. Always disagreed with that idea that, while I believe in the closed primary system, if there's no, if you've only got members of one party running for an office, then the top two vote getters or whatever should be and run against each other in the general election, not in the not whoever wins the primary automatically get the office, because that cuts out the other party, a bunch of people from having a voice as to who should be, that office holder. Well, Josh, there's nothing to say that your state, that roads can't be done by your local and state governments. There's nothing there saying that the federal government has to lay all the roads. Now, the interstate highway system, and some of the interstate highway system was built by the federal government, not only for transportation reasons, but to be used as emergency runaways. Yeah, if you did not know that, shocker, shocker, a lot of the interstate highways are designed to hold the weight of B-52s and of C-17s and such. We'll have to have that discussion someday, Josh, because I'm not certain exactly what you mean by multi-party system. If you're talking about like how Canada and England run theirs, to where you don't have two main parties and where they've got to build a coalition of a half a dozen parties in order to run the government. That seems to, I don't know. I see some good points to it, but in operation, I see a lot of bad points to it. But I mean, there's a lot of bad points to the way our government runs, with having the two, a basic two-party system with independents and with an independent party along as a third. Okay, so you want no parties whatsoever, but everybody to run on their own. Wow. What a cluster truck that would be. That would be a serious cluster truck. But anyway, I couldn't care less what party he belongs to. Described Miller as a lunatic who held French anti-government views. He said, as far as he's concerned, the man arrested was the suspected would-be assassin. I'm curious as to what leads the sheriff to say that. As far as being, did Miller say something? I mean, I travel with a loaded .22 rifle in my truck. I travel with my Glock 17 on my hip. Now, if I was going to a political rally, like, Coachella or something like that, I would at least make certain that I leave my Glock at home. Anyway, according to the Las Vegas Review, this Van Miller was concerned with issues of voter fraud. Okay, I fully agree with that. I'm very concerned about issues of voter fraud, and was involved in an ongoing lawsuit claiming he and others were not allowed to observe vote counting. That, if you'll remember, there in the last election, the poll workers, when it came to time to count the ballots, there's video evidence of them taping cardboard and newspapers and paper up against the glass so nobody could watch what they were doing. So, there was a lot there that yeah, if I believe that people, we should be able to watch the ballots being counted. They should have cameras and it should be available on local internet for you to watch the ballots being counted in your state. So again, or in your county. So, that to me is not, the stuff that he brought up there, none of that to me is radical. None of that's lunatic. I agree with him. So if the sheriff is calling having those two views, as being a lunatic, a fringe lunatic, count me in as a fringe lunatic. It's that simple. Let's see, what else did they have on there? Oh, there's the picture I thought I was wanting to do. Okay, now see that. Okay, now this first article here that I'm going to go to a second article about this character. Okay. As far as this is from Time Magazine. Miller's denied being a sovereign citizen. But see, this homemade license plate, that is indicative of sovereign citizen people. That sovereign citizens do make up their homemade license plates and put them on your on their vehicles. You can download off the internet. Now, this guy claimed that he had a special entry pass, but that also was shown to have been forged. At least according to the reports I've read this morning, his passes and tickets and everything were all faked. None of them were true tickets. Nothing he had for getting into the rally there were actually valid. So, really that's about it as far as a book for possessing a loaded firearm and a high capacity magazine. So evidently, this is in Nevada. Evidently, Nevada has got a. Oh, here, this was another part of this here that wasn't in the other article. He carried multiple IDs. To explain the IDs, different names, Miller told Fox News Digital he's Armenian and has some documents which use his full Armenian name, saying that using those documents with his full name could get him killed in other parts of the world, referring to campaigns targeting Armenians. I was not aware until I read this article this morning that there was actually still an Armenian genocide ongoing, but evidently there is. I just unaware that that was a thing. I thought that was all over and done with. Okay, Dizzy, you have a good day now, all right? Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate you. So that's currently, as of 3 hours ago, that's all the news that's been released on this character, Van Miller. About 2 hours ago is when I did my opened up my last article, did my last search on it. So as of 2 hours ago, that's the last of the news articles that have been released on him. So, but as we know, the news doesn't always, cover everything going on out there. Close this one here. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Touchdown Timmy. One of the good things and one of the bad things about being on social media is deciphering the truth from the fiction, from the outright lies that get passed out there. I've been caught in a couple of them where I sat there and thought things were truthful, or I thought things were skits, and things I thought were true were fake, and what I thought was fake turned out true. So you never know. You really don't know sometimes. Sometimes it's really obvious. A lot of times it's really obvious. But sometimes it's not. And the Touchdown Timmy, there's a gentleman, a poster out there on X who goes by the moniker the Black Insurrectionist. Okay, and let me share that screen on him. Pretend an officer pulls a speeder who doesn't have a driver's license and claims sovereign citizen. In response, officer says nothing more than needed to detain him, basically put him in a van to the border. Yeah, Josh, you're right, but that'd be constitutionally troublesome, to say the least. But anyway, here's this gentleman, the Black Insurrectionist, at Docnet YouTube. this weekend has been a heyday for him. He's gotten a lot of attention on the social media sites. And we're just going to look at this here. All right, this here's just, I'm not going to go through everything he's posted. He's posted probably 30 or some odd posts this weekend. And I'm not going to go through all of them. All right. If you want to go through his stuff, then you can. That's why I'm let me post a link here. So if you want to do it, if you want to spend time looking at everything he's done, there's a link to him, to his stuff. Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you on that either, Josh. Yeah, opening our borders and, what Harris and the Democrats have been doing for the past 4 years, well, 3.5 years. Anyway. What he is saying is he's got at least one individual that he's been in contact with accusing Tim Waltz of P3DO with students from where he was working at the school, that he took students home and supposedly drugged them, took one to a bar that was same-sex only, shall we say, a pride flag flying bar, shall we say. Took another student to an Indigo Go-Go Girls concert, then took him to another bar and overindulged him in adult beverages, and then indulged himself in pleasuring the young boy. And he's really released a lot of this. I'm not saying I believe any of it. I'm not saying I believe any of it. He's laying out one hell of a line, though. He's got a hell of a story set out. He's got documentation, showing where the school board voted to accept his resignation in lieu of firing him. At least he claims to have that documentation. He's posted something that shows that. Black Rim, I don't know. I don't know. But what proof, let's just throw this shoe on the other foot. What proof did we have that Jean E. Carroll story is true? All we had was her word. And based on her word and her word alone, Trump has been labeled as a rapist. Trump was tried in a civil trial on a law that was invented with a very short duration specifically to target him. And where he would have to pay, where it was a foregone conclusion, he was going to be found guilty at this civil trial and had to pay E. Jean Carroll a ton of money. All right. There's no proof, just her word. And what do we have here? We've got no proof. We've just got the word of an individual being thrown out there against Tim. In fact, they say the reason why he was given the nickname Touchdown Timmy wasn't because of football, because he touched down. Again, that's what's going on out there in social media. But you're not hearing that out in the mainstream media. This guy, the black insurrectionist, has put out that he has made requests on official government channels that can't be deleted or thrown away, whatever. It's done in such a way that they are part of the permanent records for VP Harris. By law, they have to be kept. And he's showing things purporting to be official responses from the Biden-Harris administration. I don't know, Black Rim. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The whole thing is really like, here's one of the statements. I went to 2 concerts with Tim Waltz and Indigo Girls concert in July of '95, attended a concert in Omaha with Tim Waltz, Alabama. I was one of the students who accompanies Tim Waltz and others on his trip to China. When Tim Waltz received his DUI, it was after an evening spent with me. He's talking about Tim Waltz having a raised scar on his chest and a Chinese symbol tattoo on his upper thigh. A small scar on his left arm that's more like a soft burn. So this guy is giving, this statement here is giving some physical descriptions. Remember, they talked about physical descriptions of Trump, below his waist. The size is, supposedly one of the women, E. Jean Carroll or somebody was talking about Trump's penis. So, yeah, there's a lot of, again, these are some of the things going out underneath the on the social media. And I'm just saying that, and I honestly, now, and I'm going to say it, if things are being said about Trump, I think they'd be on the national news. If there was somebody saying that Trump took people during his show on The Apprentice and did this kind of crap with them, it would be all over the news. Or, J.D. Vance, if he'd done anything like what Waltz is being claimed Waltz did, it would be all over the news, mainstream news, with questions, demanding to be answered. But you guys can pick this apart as you wish, I'm putting myself in the category of it's out there. I do not support these claims, but the claims are out there and I would like to see some answers to them. Even if it's a flat right denial. The young men who are making these claims need to. So, what do they say about Spanky's Paul?
Trim his toenails and make sure if it starts pussing, call.
All right, so no problem with that. They just cut that toenail off.
They just cut. The doctor came in and just pulled it out of there.
Oh, is that Lucy just pulled it out?
He screamed. He screamed. Yeah, but
well, I bet he did.
Oh yeah, she told me they said if he licks it, it's fine, but if there's any pus, and if there's a lot of pus, call and let so we can make see what's going on.
All right, good enough. Well, he's not limping.
No. He's
walking straight, so I'm glad I saw that then. Oh, puppy's back from the vet. That's a quick trip, dear. You only gone about 30 minutes. They got you in and out. So anyway, where is this other story at here? Okay, I don't have anything shared right now. Good. Oh, your internet? Yeah. Oh, man, that's rough. Okay, Blackburn, you're absolutely 100% right there, okay? People are going to jump to conclusions one way or another. All right? I'm not saying that these are true. I'm not saying these accusations are true. But they're getting a lot of attention on social media. And we all know that social media drives the news anymore. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, Josh. Okay. This is a story from yesterday. Top Oregon official put on leave for allegedly prioritizing qualified job candidates over gender identity. The employee faulted her boss for looking beyond gender identity to find candidate the most qualified for the job. A diversity, equity, inclusion expert had her former boss placed on administrative leave for reportedly prioritizing merit over personal identity when hiring new employees. Megan Donecker, who formerly served as the Oregon Department of Forestry's DEI strategy officer, complained about the agency's management, criticizing her boss, Mike Shaw, for looking beyond gender and identity in hiring, seeking only candidates most qualified for the job. Can you believe this? A forestry department wanting to hire only the most qualified person. Oh my God. How horrible is that? Well, Josh, maybe you can catch us later on Restream. Hate to see you go, though. But how horrible is this? That this man actually wanted to hire people who were qualified for the job, and not hire anybody whose only purpose to serve would be to be a diversity hire. Merit first. Did the person coming in was actually qualified to do the job? You're not, then we can't hire you. Shaw served as the agency's second in command under State Forester Cal Mukamoto until he was placed on administrative leave on August 6th after Donecker filed a formal complaint against him. Donecker reportedly first took issue with Shaw when he advocated for a careful approach to EEI, comparing rapid changes to speeding on an icy road. She complained Shaw, using this metaphor, warned, "We won't go 60 out of the gate or we're going to crash the car." She also reportedly claimed that 6 queer staffers didn't feel safe or comfortable at work because they could not have conversation around pronouns, and referred to the department as a boys' club. While the Oregon Department of Forestry did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's inquiry, they have responded to recent criticisms of their agency, insisting that leadership takes personal complaints and concerns seriously. When brought to our attention, we ensure they're handled in accordance with state laws, rules, policies, and HR's best practices. This also includes protecting employees from retaliation. Well, sure as hell sounds like Mr. Shaw is being retaliated against. He's being retaliated against because he wants to make certain that he's hiring people in that can do the job. And he doesn't care what color, race, or gender or anything else they are. Can they go out and do the job required of them? The grunt work at a forestry department is not easy work. You're not sitting in an office 9 to 5. You're out there with axes and shovels. Oh, they got rid of her picture. Let me scroll up here and get her name, Megan Donecker. Wait till you see who this woman is. Close that. Close that. Here we go. Where's a good picture of this Megan Donaker? I guess this will do it. Okay, guys. Are you ready? Put in your mind, in your imagination, of what you think Megan Donaker looks like. Okay? A woman who believes that your gender identity is more important than your ability to do the job. You got that in your mind? You got that picture in your mind? There you go. There is Megan Donaker. That's her. Does she fulfill your mind? I mean, purple hair, 300 pounds overweight, shaved head, and tattoos. I wonder what the indigenous people have to say about her wearing that bird skull as a necklace, because someone would consider that as appropriation of indigenous people's customs or totems or something. Let's see here. The pink hair tattooed Salem resident has left the department and now works as a DEI consultant. She reportedly describes herself as an accomplice to marginalized communities. State Forester Stephen Mukamoto has said that providing a safe, diverse, and inclusive workplace is a shared core value and a priority for both the department and the Board of Forestry. Now, your core value should be hiring people who are capable of doing the job. That'd be your number one thing to look at. Can you do this job? Sorry, we don't want to hire a one-legged man to go out there and throw an axe around. We're not going to hire a guy who only has one arm to go out there and hand him a shovel. Yeah. Are you capable of doing the damn job? That should be priority number one. And the only priority. Nothing else matters. Can you do the job? Well, yeah, there are other things that matter. You know, can you do the job? Are you going to do the job correctly? Are you going to follow the rules and regulations? You know, are you going to be able to work with your coworkers? You know, are you going to be able to work with them? Those are all important. Oregon widely implemented DEI initiatives following the political unrest in response to George Floyd's killing in 2020, prompting racial justice protests that swept the nation and raged for more than 100 consecutive nights in nearby Portland. But residents have slowly begun pushing back. Clackamas County in Oregon announced in January they will dismantle their $830,000 a year DEI office, calling it an unnecessary expense that only foments friction. Yes. That's the truth about that. Oh, hey, Silvar, good morning. That Silvar was a DEI manager for the Oregon State Forestry Department that decided that because the man second in charge in Oregon's forestry hired on merit instead of DEI, that he needed to be fired, and she got him put on leave. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. DEI at its worst. And let me stop sharing that. Okay. Let's see here. What else? Got that story done. I've only got one more. Well, no, I think I've there's something else here I had. Oh, I know what it was. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see here. Much to the chagrin of the Justice Department, the Border Patrol has unanimously decided to endorse Trump. And that just absolutely, hurts Harris's feelings. And speaking of Harris, it's been a little while since that CBS interview. And there are calls out there because CBS, edited her answers. If you didn't see the video clip, it's out there. Oh, man, I'm glad I wasn't sharing that when that popped up. Okay, so let me share this story here. Hey, oh, Neil, good morning. CBS News 60 Minutes is facing pressure to release a transcript of Bill Whitaker's interview with Vice President Harris, which aired on Monday, October 7th. Barry Weiss, editor of Free Press. And Barry Weiss, she don't back down. Posted social media on Saturday and said 60 Minutes should release unedited transcripts of the Kamala Harris interview The Free Press also published an editorial calling on 60 Minutes to release the transcript. CBS has been at the center of outrage since it aired an edited clip of the Vice President Kamala Harris during his primetime 60 Minutes election special that was different from a preview of the unflattering exchange she had with Whitaker that was widely panned by critics. Given the stakes here, a rare interview, and Kamala's still 84 days now, 85 days, and she still has not held an open press conference. Think about that. She's done interviews. She's done select interviews. She's gone on The View. She went on that podcast where the primary topic of the show, not her episode, but the show in general, is blowjobs and favorite positions for sex. But she is yet to do an open press conference with multiple reporters, including Steve Ducey, being there to ask her questions. She hasn't done it yet. It's been over 80 days. 85 days, I think, is the count right now. You'd think CBS would do the same, but no transcript has been forthcoming. The New York Post editorial board also demanded 60 Minutes to release the full transcript, with even the Harris-Waltz campaign disavowing CBS's hack editing of Bill Whitaker's interview with the Democratic nominee. The network's only hopes of regaining any credibility is to release the full transcript. Any editing CBS did was with the concurrence and acknowledgement and permission of Kamala. It's just, like the NPR, or was it? No, the MSNBC reporter or producer said, they're doing everything they can to get Kamala elected. CBS didn't do these edits without Kamala or her campaign staff or somebody there approving every edit made. We all know that. You're right, Silvart. Transcripts can be doctored also. That's why, Biden and is fighting so hard to keep from having the video of his testimony to the keeping the video hidden. They released transcript, but they're not releasing the video of him being questioned by the special prosecutor. Because that transcript most likely was doctored in one way or shape and or form. So, the Democrats are playing dirty ball here. CBS is playing dirty ball. MSNBC is playing dirty ball. They wonder why we don't trust them. They wonder why people like me do not trust any, and that I include Fox News in this, do not trust the major media to be telling the truth. Lindsey Graham also weighed in on the interview and said the interview should have been edited in a favorable way, needed to be addressed. there's, I mean, why at this point shouldn't all these softball interviews and everything be considered campaign donations? Because they're not going in there asking hard questions. They're not going in there putting her on the spot. And if they're editing, the ABC interview, it was 20-some minutes long, and they edited it down to 13. What did they leave on the cutting room floor? We don't know what they left out. So at this point, I would not mind seeing them set off as campaign donations. Okay, I'm not certain who this MZ Hemingway is. The fact that CBS 60 Minutes is refusing to release a full unedited transcript of his interview with Kamala Harris is a huge scandal. Suggests much of the entire finished product was manipulative and deceitful and not just one little horrible example that was discovered. Exactly. There's quite a few people demanding the release of the transcripts. But again, like you said, transcripts can be doctored up to match what was released on the video. Oh, yeah, especially that. The NDAA that Obama signed that lifted the fact that the United States government can now propagandize the American people. And notice how neither party, the Republicans, haven't gone back to try to push that. I have not seen any great effort by the Republicans to correct that, to make that into a law. Maybe because they couldn't get through the Democrats. Maybe maybe they did try and it always got voted down on amendment or stricken out of the bills. But they need to make a single issue bill. Get it out there. Make a big issue of, hey, we want to make certain that the government can't lie to the American people. It can't propagandize the people. And here is a bill, very short one-page bill, stating that the federal government cannot propagandize the American people. Make it a one-page bill. Uniparty got a uniparty. Yeah, well, there's that too. The thought of a unit, that makes me ill to my stomach, Silvar. That really does. That makes my stomach roll every time I think of that. No, you're probably right. We probably have to write another $500 million into Ukraine in order to get that passed. So we've all seen the video, so I'm not going to air that again. Because, we've all seen it. Okay, let's see here. Didn't I? Let's see here. I thought I had. Okay, I'm saving this for last. This I want to save for last. But since we were talking about I just happen to have this video here and where I get my hands on it real quick this morning because I was looking for the other ones. Let's play AOC here. Let's listen to AOC here for a second.
Several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy because that is a part of what happened here. And we're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false. And so that's something that
okay. Then you had Hillary Clinton this about a week ago, saying that the federal government needs to step in on social media. And had Kerry, former Secretary of State, rich boy Kerry, the guy who claimed that he didn't have a jet, personal jet, his wife did. His wife, the jet belonged to his wife, not to him. You know, that private jet. Yeah, and he bought his yacht in another state so he didn't have to pay the sales tax on it because the state he lives in has a millionaire's tax on yachts and such. So he went to another state to buy it. But they're all saying things along the lines of wanting the government to take over social media, all of it, so that they can shut down what they consider to be lies. And remember, back at the beginning of the Biden administration, or was it the Obama administration? They wanted to make a new department within the Department of Justice. And they're going to hire this one particularly obnoxious woman to weed out mis and disinformation on the internet. I just happen to remember about that story. That's why I'm trying to remember who it was. But the Democrats are all about, you know, they really hate freedom of speech. They really hate it. You know, they claim that they're just wanting to get rid of mis and disinformation. The problem is Hunter Biden's laptop was considered misinformation. It was a Russian plant until it wasn't. You know, a lot of these stories are mis and disinformation until they're not. But they're only labeled mis and disinformation when they're against a Democrat, or they go get, you know, the COVID leak, the lab leak for COVID. That's just a Trump lie. That's misinformation. How dare you put that out on the internet? We're going to shut you down if you put that out on the internet. until it was proven what it was. But the left, Trump wants you to inject bleach. That's factual. That's not mis or disinformation. That's the fact. Trump wants you to inject bleach. Trump said that some of those Nazis in Charlotte were good guys, were part of the good people on both sides. That wasn't a lie. See, he even said it when they clipped the quote. And I keep going back, and this is nothing new. Look up Newt Gingrich, the Wither on the Vine controversy that the left pulled out. Newt Gingrich. They were so mad at him because he engineered the takeover of the House from the Democrats for the first time in 40 years with the contract with America. And they were so mad at him that they just came after him hammer and tong. They lied about him every which way that they could. Exactly, Neil. They're still telling lies about January 6th. Not the Bee has a movie out on January the 6th that I want to get around to trying. I want to try to get around to watch. So, yeah, somehow the Trump telling them to march peacefully and to obey the laws actually meant grab your guns and pitchforks and storm the Capitol. Yeah, it's wild what they do out there. I talked about that third assassination attempt there at the beginning, Neil. That was one of the first things I talked about. Before I talked about Timmy. Joker 2 crashes beyond belief. Yes. I was considering waiting. There's no way I was going to see Joker 2 in the theater because I didn't watch the original one in the theater. So I was thinking about waiting until it came DVD and then getting it. But now I think I'm just going to pass that up. Yeah, so far you're absolutely right. Joker the musical. Yeah, with Lady Gaga in it, man, it really that really makes it very, very hard for me to sit down and watch. It's like that last Batman movie, The Batman, with Sparkly Boy in it. It took me. I started watching it like on a Tuesday and finished watching it on Thursday. I just couldn't sit down and watch it for 2 straight hours. I had to take breaks. Joker on Broadway. I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga anyway, so that's Lady Gag me. What story was this? The Harris campaign is really, really nervous about getting the black vote, especially the black male vote, especially the black male vote under the age of 40. They're so, they really hurting so bad that they broke out Obama. And again, on social media, that's getting a lot of blowback because a lot of these black men and black women are sitting there saying, telling Obama, screw you, we're going to vote for who we want to vote for. We're not a monolith anymore. We saw what Trump did for us his first 4 years. We want that back again. Now, I don't agree. One of my strongest disagreements with Trump in his first 4 years was the funding of the HBCUs. All right. I totally disagree with funding any school simply because they're a historically black or historically white school. I strongly disagree with it. If they're doing research, if they are doing stuff that actually works for the country, fine. But if you're going to fund them simply because they're a majority black college, no, absolutely not. That is a violation of everything this country stands for. I strongly disagree with that. No. Sometimes I get, I'm just glad Shio isn't popping in sometimes because between the two of you, I do nothing but laugh. Y'all have me doing nothing but laugh reading the chat. But it's a shame when the Democratic Party is, they're going from 98% to 85% of the black vote. And that's got them scared to death that they're going to lose an election. Losing 15% of the black vote. That's got them scared to death. Now, so Harris has come out with a new program that she announced. And once again, I find this unconstitutional. The Harris campaign, just over 3 weeks ago to Election Day, hopes to spotlight its agenda to help black men achieve the opportunity to get ahead and to thrive by equipping them with the tools to achieve financial freedom, lower costs to provide for themselves and their families. All right. What tools do you need to achieve financial freedom? You need to quit wasting your money. End the conversation. Stop buying crap you don't need. And white, black, green, red, purple, indigo, I don't care. First of all, stop buying weed. All right, number one, don't buy any weed. Don't stop buying the weed. Okay? Start putting a part of your paycheck in the bank. Invest it, save it. But here we go. First thing, 1 million loans are fully forgivable to black entrepreneurs. It's not a loan if it's forgivable. If you're going to give somebody money, you're just going to give it to them and say they don't have to pay back. Just say it out from the outright. Don't call it a loan if you're not planning on making them pay it back. And why should it be race-based? If you're going to do this, it needs to be to anybody that's trying to start a business. If you want to say, okay, this is for somebody who has not had a previous business, that's fine. But you can't sit there and say, we're going to set up this free giveaway of money just to blacks only. That's racist. That is racism on display. $1 million loans to start business, championing education, training, and mentorship to help black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to becoming teachers. We don't need white men teachers. What? We don't need white teachers? We don't need white male teachers? Get a freaking grip and quit trying to base your programs on race or gender or who you want to sleep with. None of that matters. It simply doesn't matter. Also highlighting that campaign's regulatory framework to protect black men's investments in cryptocurrency and other digital assets. A health equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell. Okay. Sickle cell, you either have it or you don't. It's an inherited disease. You cannot catch sickle cell. It's an inherited disease, like the disease Jacobson's. I can't remember the first name attached to it, but there's a similar disease predominant among Jewish men or Jewish people. Diabetes, man, diabetes is everybody. White, black, red, green, purple, male, female, diabetes is everybody. But you're going to tell me you're going to put money aside specifically to push for black men for diabetes. What, you don't care that whether or not I get diabetes because I'm a white man? You don't care that my wife gets diabetes because she's a white woman? Mental health. Prostate cancer does not get near the attention that it needs to get. Every month, one of our local TV stations, every month, I think it's the 13th of each month, one of the female anchors gets up there and talks about about breast cancer, and have you had your buddy check you out for breast cancer? Have you had your buddy come over and squeeze your boobies looking for breast cancer? Target, Lowe's, and Hobby Lobby. Oh my God. Well, okay, if you're going to Target, there's only one thing I want you to bring back for me. That's why I'm going to Target. Pumpkin spice. You don't have to whisper. By the way, they're calling you. Oh. They're calling you MOS.
MOS.
Yeah.
What's MOS?
Mrs. Original Shroom.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to Target, Lowe's, and Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
And I don't know what time I'll be home, but I will be home no later than 3:30.
All right. Yeah. Remember, we got ball game this evening.
Aren't you supposed to be doing infusion?
Oh, crap. You're home. I forgot. And
I didn't, dear, when I got home, I wasn't paying any attention.
and I didn't set it out last night. Damn. All right, I got to think.
Okay.
All right. Have fun.
And I'll be home no later than 3:30.
All right.
4 o'clock.
All right. Love ya.
Love you too.
Have fun.
Yep.
And why do we want to, now back to this here, why do we only want to protect black men's investment in cryptocurrency and other digital assets? I guess they're talking about NFS and NFTs there. I don't care, Silvar. I proudly bear the nickname pumpkin spice bitch at work. My boss out there, his wife's, both my bosses are married to each other, and the female half calls me a pumpkin spice bitch this time of the year. Because I get my hands on as much of it, except I absolutely refuse to go to Starbucks. I do not go into Starbucks for any reason whatsoever. My birthday, I eat pumpkin pie. I do not eat a birthday cake. I eat pumpkin pie for my birthday. Well, let's put it this way. If the wife or the kid bakes me a birthday cake, I'll eat it. Yeah, that's fine. But if I have my druthers, I'll have a pumpkin pie. So I've got, in fact, sitting here next to me, I've got a bag of pumpkin spice trail mix that I've been munching on now for about 4 days. It's a little bag. It's a 9-ounce bag, and I've been munching on it now for about 4 or 5 days. So, but I'm going to be making, I'm either going to make pumpkin bread or I'm going to make pumpkin cinnamon rolls this week. And, what can I say? I just love pumpkins. Oh, cool, Neil. Oh, Spanky, are you cold? Here, let me get you covered up, buddy. There you go. Yeah, my poor puppy. He tore a toenail off, all but off Friday, either Thursday or Friday, and I realized what it was Thursday or Friday afternoon. So he had to go the weekend, and he just limped like hell. So the wife took him to the vets this morning, and I guess they got in there and they trimmed his toenails. Then when they got to that one, just gave a good sharp yank on it and pulled it out. So he didn't like that, I'll bet. I bet that hurt like hell. Poor little puppy. He's no puppy. He's 13 years old. God, be 13 years old now. But, all right. So, Yeah, rather than trying to help all Americans, the Democratic Party's falling back on its racist roots and basing its help on race. Some races get help, some races don't. Some people get help, some people won't, depending on your race. Oh, yeah. Nell, the wife said that he hollered like a stuck pig when they did that. Now, I am a huge fan of space. Growing up when I did in the with the first moon landing and traveling to my aunt's house to watch it, I've always been fascinated with outer space. And Elon Musk done something that had never done before, his SpaceX group.
See how fast this vehicle is moving on the left hand of the screen. Landing burn, 13 ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in the air.
Something that had never been done before was done. It not only landed back on Earth, it landed from where it took off from.
We've just witnessed history.
Refuel, reuse.
Oh my goodness, they've done it. We've just witnessed history. Oh my goodness, they've done it. They've done it first time. That was absolutely astonishing.
That is something that I have always, this was a thing of.
Well, there it comes.
This was a thing of science fiction up until this weekend. Up until this weekend, this was science fiction only. Watch this thing just fall out of the sky again. Just absolutely amazing. Boeing has spent billions of dollars, and they've gotten nowhere near doing this before. Oh, hey, Silvar. Yeah, that was not no CGI there, Silvar. That was no CGI on that. That was all 100% real happening. I am so happy to see that. That's that's a milestone in the future of space travel. I probably won't live to see it. But I hope that at least in my grandson's life, that he sees us colonizing the moon. Having living, workable colony on the moon, a workstation, permanent workstation on the moon. I want to see that. Not just orbiting the Earth. Oh, wow. I never got to watch a shuttle launch. Not in person. I'm jealous, Silvar. I'm actually jealous. But I'm at least hoping in my grandson's lifespan. One turns 6 on the 17th. The other one just had his first birthday. And I'm hoping that they have it in their lifespan. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to end the stream here on that. And I don't know if anybody knows the thumbnail, but I have officially entered the old age category. I turned 65 today. 65 trips around the solar system, around the sun. I've made it this long. And that's 64 trips more than what doctors originally said I'd make it. So I'm grateful for every minute of it. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the people that show up and listen to me. I'm grateful for anybody that pops on the show when we do it. Ramen, Dar. And I just want to let y'all know how much I appreciate you. So y'all have a good day now. Enjoy yourselves. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. And have a good day.